Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and injury insurance on your picks are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million players who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/get100 and use code GET100. That's code GET100 at prizepicks.com/get100 for a first deposit matchup to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Welcome to the first episode of the Meet the Mancunian podcast. Every week, I aim to introduce you to an interesting Mancunian from this culturally diverse city, Manchester. We will hear from ordinary people making an extraordinary impact. Presented by Deepa Thomas Sutcliffe, newbie Mancunian. Tune in every week for a new episode. Unemployed? Looking for work and some guidance on how to land that dream job? Meet Diana Bowden, founder of Let's Go Forward, on the first episode. I'm delighted to introduce my guest, Diana Bowden, CEO of Let's Go Forward. Thank you, Diana, for joining me today.
Thank you, Deepa.
So, Diana, tell us what inspired you to start Let's Go Forward.
So Let's Go Forward, the idea first came about after the collapse of Thomas Cook in 2019. And I just became aware that there were a lot of people who were had been working with business for a long, long time. They hadn't looked for a new job in sort of 30 years. The last time that they had to get a job, they just phoned up from a local paper, or, it was a very simple process. And I just thought that for myself, I hadn't quite been working 30 years at the time. And I just thought if I was in the same position, I'd been in the same job, I just wouldn't know what to do. And then in addition to that, you've got different factors with regards to being made redundant. There were a lot of married couples whose whole household income had been wiped out. And also there's the sort of, they're very much like a family. If you've worked with somebody for such a long time, there's a grieving process as well. So what I did was I got a load of my friends, my business contacts, and I put on a one-day event for people, which just helps them with things like CVs, interview skills, networking, but then also things like how to sell your stuff on eBay, money saving tips, and then also sort of, keeping yourself well mentally, and where you can get help. So it got a really, really good response. It was a brilliant day. And, I got some really, really good comments about how effective it had been. So after that finished, it sort of stayed with me for a long time, because I would still meet with people who were involved, either participating or people who had given their time and who volunteered. And they just seemed, they just kept talking about it. And so in February 2020, I decided to set Let's Go Forward up as a community. It's a community interest company, so it's a not-for-profit. And the idea being that people can help each other in situations like this. And, we don't often have conversations about, being out of work and things like that. But everybody's got some, brilliant life experiences that they can share that can help others. So that's what I did in February 2020, just before the whole world shut down.
Amazing timing, but really great for everybody who's unemployed and looking for that dream job. So tell us more about what Let's Go Forward's been up to.
So one of the main things that we do is, last summer we were introduced to an organisation in Dublin called Job Care, which is a charity, and they've been going for about 25 years. And one of their programmes that they run that helps unemployed people is specifically for unemployed professionals. So the idea is that it is for people who have got experience, have got skills, but they just don't necessarily know how to navigate the current job market. It might be they've been on a break raising a family or due to caring responsibilities, or it might be that they've been made redundant, or they've just decided that, you know, they've come to a point in their life where they'd like a change and maybe want to, you know, kids have grown up, mortgages paid off, and they want to kind of follow the dream of what they want to do. So the program is brilliant. It's a 7-week course. It involves 5 hours a week. It's all online, which is how we're able to access it from over here in Manchester, while it's delivered from Dublin. And it's just really, really inspiring, seeing the change in people, seeing the confidence, how it grows, how they learn to appreciate recognise and appreciate their own talents and their own value, and then how to position themselves to be able to get, you know, some good work. And we've had a real range of people, but the main thing that people have taken away is the camaraderie and the friendship from working in a small group.
Thank you so much. So who do you really help and support? Can you tell us a little bit about those people?
Yeah, the idea is that it's, you know, there's a lot of help for people who are long-term unemployed or have other barriers to employment. And we don't have the skills and the expertise to help people who need more help. But, you know, the people who are part of the Let's Go Forward community are just, you know, people just, you know, like me. So, you know, you've had some jobs, you've applied for jobs, you've had interviews, you know, you've done applications, and you can share that knowledge with other people. I mean, anybody can be involved in the community. The JobNet program is specifically for unemployed professionals, but the idea of the Let's Go Forward community is also about mentoring and buddying. And, you know, now that the country is sort of opening up a little bit, then we're going to be trying to get used to going back and establishing some in-person events as well. We want to be able to offer more specific events for maybe people who are looking to start their own business, or people who are thinking about retiring. And then the other side of the work that we're going to be doing is to work with companies who are making redundancies and help them to support their staff out of the business, because you know, I don't think there's many employers who like to make people redundant. So they want to do for the best for them in that time, and we want to help them.
Thank you. So what impact would you say has been made by Let's Go Forward?
Well, it's difficult to sort of measure, but you know, one of the things is, if you have a look on our website, which I'm sure you'll have the details to later, we've got some fantastic testimonials about how we've helped people. And I think to me that speaks louder than sort of the cold hard statistics. However, if you want cold hard statistics, we've run the JobNet program for 12 months and we've had 30 people complete the program, and of those 30 people, 90% have found work, which is a phenomenal result. And it just goes to show that, yeah, that people can do it, and with just a little bit of hand holding, just a little bit of support and backup, then, you know, and there are jobs there for people.
Thank you. So how are you funded then?
Well, we're not. So, you know, it was just, I have a part-time job, so this is just something I do in my spare time. We would like to get funding so that we can employ some of the people who we've helped, and really make it a community. So we will be looking for some kind of funding. The one thing that we have had some success with is last year we produced a Let's Go Forward wildlife calendar. My boyfriend is a really good wildlife photographer, so we decided that we could make and sell one of those. So we're going to be starting to sell those over the next few days. And currently, if people go on our website, they can see the pictures from last year. And what we've asked our communities on Facebook and LinkedIn to do is vote on the photographs for this year. So for every month, there'll be 2 pictures and people vote for their favourite. And that's the one that gets included in the calendar. And all profits go in to help us continue to run this not-for-profit.
Thank you so much. It's amazing. How much does it cost for a job seeker to join this program?
Well, Let's Go Forward at the moment, it's free. We don't want anybody who's looking for work to be not to be able to join us because of the financial aspect of it. There may be in the future we might charge for some specialist courses and stuff. Currently, JobNet is absolutely free. And the reason that it is free is because it's basically run by volunteers. So they're just people giving their time, and JobCare are kind enough to be able to help us with some of the resources. And what we do actually also ask is if people have been helped, or if they have felt that we've done something to help them find work and put them in a better place, that they think how much it would have been worth for them. So when they are more financially stable and they've found work, they think, right, well, if I was going to pay for that, how much do I think it's worth? And then, they're able to donate. So we are able to accept donations as well. However, going forward, we do want to be more sustainable with regards to the services that we can charge for, which is the businesses.
How can interested people learn more?
So the easiest thing to do at the moment, as I say, we're a very small organisation. I don't have a marketing department. It's me in my spare bedroom. But we do have a really lovely website at the moment, which, as I say, has got loads of testimonials on. We might not have a massive amount of content on there, but one thing we have got is case studies, testimonials. So if you want to go on there, it's www.letsgoforward.org.uk. We also have a Facebook page, which is Let's Go Forward CIC. And we're on LinkedIn, Let's Go Forward CIC. And we are on Twitter at LGF Event. And we post when I get a chance on there.
Thank you. And what advice would you say you have for people looking for work at this time?
I think just keep going, and learn how to blow your own trumpet. I think we so often, I think in this country, we're very, we don't like to say the best things about ourselves, and you feel like you're being a bit big-headed. But one of the most powerful things that comes out of the JobNet program is watching somebody go from a point where they can't say what they can do well or say what their strengths are, to being able to, clearly and confidently just speak for a minute, saying what skills they have, what they're good at, and how they can help a new business.
Thank you. Now, I've got some questions that I hope to ask all my guests, so calling them signature questions. What do you love the most about Manchester?
There's loads. I love Manchester. I was thinking about this the other day when I was in town, why I do love it. And I think one of the things is that if you're in Manchester, you're walking along and it can just be normal, but then you look up and there's some stunning architecture around, and there could be a subway or a Pizza Express that on ground level just looks normal, and then you look up and there's some fantastic masonry or the architecture and things like that. So it's kind of like I don't know, it's sort of hidden but in plain sight, I guess. So I suppose that's kind of what I love physically about Manchester. But I think generally what I love about Manchester and being a Mancunian is just our spirit, and we're fierce, and we will stand up. And going back to sort of Peterloo and the way that the suffragette movement was very strong in Manchester, There's loads of times when Manchester has sort of stood up for itself. And I think that's true. I mean, going back to, even like kind of the IRA bomb and things like that. I mean, thankfully in that case, nobody was hurt, seriously injured. And we actually kind of took that and made an even more vibrant city, rose from the ashes of that dreadful incident. So yeah, I think it's the spirit of Manchester.
Lovely. What would be your favorite place here?
There's loads. I mean, some of the pubs and clubs of my youth, I have really fond memories of. I think one of my favorite places is the Hidden Gem, which is St Mary's Church. It's in between Deansgate and Albert Square. And I think, again, the reason I love that is that I know they've done some work and changed it around there, but when I first went there, it was kind of round the back of a 1970s style precinct, and if you weren't looking for it, you wouldn't notice it. And it's in a little back street, and it's quite unassuming. And then you go inside, and there's the most beautiful church. And I'm not a religious person, but the skill and the passion that went into creating it, and it's like in a little tiny back street, so and places like the Northern Quarter as well, or the street art that's come out of there, that's been produced there. And yeah, I just love it.
Can't wait to visit these places.
We'll have to go.
What's the most important life lesson you've learned?
I think for this one, probably I will quote Douglas Adams, if I may. So he's one of my favorite authors, and he once said, "I may not have gone where I intended to go, but I think I ended up where I needed to be." And I think that's really true for myself, and true for a lot of people. People think that, you have one path and you should follow it. But sometimes you have, I've been all over the place. But I think, you end up where you need to be.
That's so powerful. If someone wrote a book on your life, what would they title it, Diana?
Oh, God. What would they title a book? I don't know, something like You're Having a Laugh. I don't know. I've got a really a great sense of humour. I love laughing, and I'm quite quick and witty, which I love. But then, gosh, I really don't know. Don't know. I think if there was going to be a film made of the book, I think that they should probably get somebody like Sandra Bullock to play me.
I like that.
I think she's like a little bit dippy, but again fierce, and but also tries to be compassionate and cocks up sometimes, but generally does all right.
Love that. Thank you so much, Diana, for talking to Meet the Mancunian. Really appreciate your time, and I'm sure our listeners would love to hear more.
That's brilliant. Thanks ever so much for having us.
Thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed the pilot episode of the Meet the Mancunian podcast. Tune in every week for a new episode and meet fascinating people from the culturally diverse city, Manchester.